Hey guys, how is everyone? Hope y'all having a pretty good summer. Anyway, as an engineering student, over the years I've had the opportunity to learn about, starting at a basic level with different materials and their properties, different steels and plastics that can withstand enormous loads. And we use those different materials to build, like say, submarines that can take the crushing pressures of the ocean deep, or in my field, we can use them to build airplanes that can lift several hundred tons of weight off the ground, fly them hundreds of miles an hour over hops of several thousand miles, all in one flight, and so on and so forth. And you'd honestly have to be a fool not to appreciate some of those things that we can accomplish, some of those things that modern technology can do. And even I certainly don't take any of those things for granted. I'm always impressed, always taken aback whenever I see an airplane take off, just because of some of those numbers I told you. But where does that leave you and me, just little old people? I mean, some of the more athletic types out there, might be able to brag about, benching a couple hundred pounds and being able to run 100 meters in 10 flat or a couple less. But most of us, maybe not necessarily that special, not that impressive by number standards. Maybe you might remember back in the day getting left out of the old, dodgeball games or football games or whatever, just because you don't have that strength or that speed. But Peter addresses this issue pretty nicely in the Bible. That's the scripture I'm going to elaborate a bit upon. In 1 Peter 2, and I guess we'll take it from verse 4. As you come to him, the living stone, rejected by men but chosen by God and precious to him, you also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, offering spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. Now, think about what that is, a living stone. Now, we've gone from worldly structures, instead of a submarine or an airplane or a building, we're talking about God's church now. And you might think, if we do all these crazy things to design these wonderful buildings, wonderful devices, what would God use to build his church out of? This is the church that honors the one and only, the living God, that gives you, me, everyone, life every day. Surely he deserves something divine. But we see here that he chooses us. Little old me, little old you, and even you in the back corner there. Yeah, I see you. All of us. And this isn't because we can carry 15,000 pounds on our back going from place to place, or not because We can run 500 miles an hour for 3 hours before running out of breath. Now, he chose us as living stones merely because we believe in his Son, we love him, we love his Son, and we love him. And surely we share that same godly love with one another. And just like bricks and mortar and steel support buildings we see on earth, the living stones of God's church are only supported by godly love and enduring faith. And it's been that way for, well, at least 2,000 years. It's certainly not going to change anytime soon. And don't believe for a second that this is something, happenstance. God is very particular about how he runs his kingdom. And if you want a parallel in the building sense, you can look back in Exodus 25 when they were building the tabernacle. God was stressing to Moses, you better build this thing exactly the way I showed you. So, as I said, he chose you and me and all of us in his church for very particular reasons, according to a very particular plan. And if that doesn't inspire you, if that doesn't make you feel loved, make you feel special, I don't know what will. That scripture certainly turns my day around whenever I have a pretty bad day. It reminds me of just who I am in his kingdom. And I hope all of you keep that in mind as well. And that'll just about do it for me. So, till next time.